Welcome, weekend ballers. This is your commissioner speaking with your week 7 fantasy update. Let's get right to the information at hand. The MJ Award goes out to Gridiron Gang, putting up 164 points and collecting $119 of hard cold cash. The Bama of the week goes to Dorset Fan, 84 points. Norm, it's hard to win in this league if you trade away all your good players. Just a little hint there. Um, some interesting facts here. I don't think we've ever had at this point of the season um, 5 teams at 5-2, and probably 3 or 4 more teams right there into it. And we have 3 teams that are 2-5, which are pretty much out of it. But I'm saying that as an owner, not as the commissioner, to kind of joke around a little bit. But as your commissioner and stuff, continue to fight because it is still opportunity to get back in it. I just like to just rag sometimes. But the truth of the matter is, 4 weeks ago we might have thought Sam was on his deathbed, and now his team looks really, really strong. So that's a credit to him and his skills to continue to fight, work the waiver wire and trades and whatever to get right back on top of the mountaintop. So congratulations again, Sam. And to speak to that, it's a ton more injuries. A few more quarterbacks went out, running backs, wide receivers. Everything is just and key injuries that people need to make note. As the commissioner, I'll give you this information. A number of offensive linemen are out, which might be a little more strategic in your thought of what's going on with your quarterbacks, with all these linemen going down as well. So it's something to think about. So bye weeks, we had this bye week. We have 6 teams on the bye, so it should be interesting on the waiver wire. With the money being spent, this might be a good week if you're trying to win the MJ Award to go after that money, because I think a number of people are going to be really active on the waiver wire this week, considering the injuries and the buys and all those types of things, and then trying to lock up a good lineup. A little information for you guys. I plan to do a mid-year report next week. So in part with the monthly update, I'll provide you your mid-year grade to find out how you're doing from a commissioner's perspective. So that should be interesting. Also, the trade deadline is November 23rd. The day that Lawrence hates the most is the end of the trade deadline. But I do want to speak more on this 5-2. I like the parity a little bit. It's going to make it really intriguing. The cream is starting to rise to the top. It's making it 8 to 9 teams really fighting for 6 spots. Typically we have right around 7 teams fighting for spots, and that 8th team has a chance, but not a realistic chance. It needs a lot of help. But to have 9 teams fighting for those positions is going to be really interesting. At this point, because you have a team like Adam that's putting up a lot of points, but has caught 2 weeks of just bad breaks, run up against the MJ Award winner after putting up 150 some odd points. So just a change in schedule, and he could easily be 4-3, 5-2 as well. So don't rule him out. But we have some bottom feeders like that dude Davis. Fred already had labeled that as a bye week when he was playing against that dude Davis. He didn't say this, but he was saying that dude Davis is bad. That team is terrible. And then they got hit with some injuries, so that makes it even worse. Norm decided to trade all his players, and the same thing with Ray. He decided to trade all his players. He still snuck out a victory, but I think it may come back to bite him, giving up LaShawn McCoy, and the players that you got back actually scored less than what just Sean McCoy scored in this week. So interesting, but it's your team. Whatever you decide to do is fine by me. And Lawrence, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a shout out because I don't want to hear your mouth. You found another way to beat me. You had to trade everybody and threaten everybody else not to trade with me to do it. But whatever it takes to get you a win, you should be happy. And one more shout out to T Brooks. Quietly, 5-2. It's going to be interesting. You got to continue to fight. Stay on the grind. I like to see you at the top. It makes it interesting when you're up there making things happen, keeping everybody on their toes. But guys, continue to do what you do. I hope you're enjoying the league so far. A lot of interesting things. I'm loving the memes and the jokes and all that stuff that's going around. So that's very interesting. It's always fun. And remember, if you're out on your bike, do wear white. See you next week.